Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy you tuned in today, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Dr. Linzi, and I am a naturopathic doctor right here in Iron River. I specialize in helping people restore their health and revitalize their life. And always our little disclaimer, anything we discuss is for the purpose of general health support, not intended to treat or cure disease or anything like that. We're just here to talk about optimizing health, and always be sure to consult with your own primary care provider before making any health changes. And so last episode, we talked a lot about why stress and how stress shows up physically in our body, and about a book that I love called How the Body Keeps the Score. The body keeps track of all that, how our body often stores what our mind tries to override, or we think, oh, we're fine, but the body is keeping track. Things like stress, grief, burnout, resentment, fear, trauma, disappointment, all that good stuff. Years of survival mode, and if we never truly address those roots, it often shows up as symptoms like the lovely tight neck, the jaw clenching, the shoulder tenseness, the heavy chest, the stomach issues, the low energy, all those things. So if you missed that, be sure to check it out on my YouTube channel at Dr.Linzi ND, and you can listen to all of that goodness and get an idea of how that's important to address. Today, I want to talk about something a little bit personal, but something I know so many women, hey, and even some men. I've had some of my male patients come in wearing outfits like Jim was talking about, that they're so excited that were in the back of their closet, that they are so proud to come in and show me the shirt that they refused to get rid of, but they knew one day it would fit them, and then it does. So what I'm talking about is I posted a story yesterday on my Facebook. So if you don't follow me on Facebook, head over and search Linzi Say Larson, and that's Larsen. And of course, my name is unique, Linzi, Linzi Say Larson. Look it up. I post all sorts of good stuff, but yesterday I posted about an adorable pink jumpsuit. So if you're a male, don't just turn off the episode because I'm talking about a cute pink jumpsuit, because my male patients this applies to as well. But I shared about this pink jumpsuit, okay? I bought it last July, and because I loved it so much. It looked maybe a little small, but then when I tried it on, it absolutely did not fit, not even close. And most people probably would have returned it, but I didn't. Because when I looked at that jumpsuit, to me, it represented something so much bigger than just a cute pink jumpsuit. And you guys, it's really cute. You're gonna have to head over to Facebook to check it out. It's pretty adorable. But to me, it represented a version of me that I knew was still there. A woman who felt confident, strong, energized, comfortable in my own skin, because at that time of that first purchasing that pink jumpsuit last July, I did not feel any of those things. I was actually the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. And everything I know as a naturopathic doctor, which I share with you guys, and you guys know how particular I am, and how I live and how I eat and how I do the things, and my body was not responding to anything I was doing. And I'm actually really grateful for that experience, even though it sucked so bad and went on for about 2 years. But I'm grateful for it because I remember, women coming in saying, when I hit 40, everything changed, or my body stopped responding, or this or that. And I would always try to be understanding and compassionate, but part of me was always like, really? It all of a sudden just changed? Your body really just all of a sudden stopped responding, and you've tried everything? And just in my head, I was just like, I'm going to support you and be compassionate, but I don't know about that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it happened to me, except a little bit before 40. It started for me at 38. But what was interesting was that was also a time that you guys have heard me talk about of very, very high stress, a lot of grief, and then, my body likely changing, and it kind of reached that tipping point where it's like, hey, we're not going to respond to all the healthy things that you're doing anymore. Now, were those healthy things wasted? No. It's still good to do the healthy things, but they weren't changing what I needed to with the inflammation, the stress, and the extra fat my body was holding on to. I mean, it was Hot Mess Express. And if you look at that video I did on that I shared on Facebook, you can see the fat and the inflammation that my body was just holding on to, that it would not let go of. And So some things had to change, and that's what I want to share with you guys today. So today, the pink jumpsuit fits, and you can see that on the video I shared. I got a little emotional because I probably should have tried it on ahead of time. Now, of course, if it didn't fit and it was a catastrophe, I probably wouldn't have shared the video. But when I'm sharing the video, that's me literally trying it on for the first time since last July. And so it was a bit emotional for me because it fit and it looked really cute, and it was a pink jumpsuit. I've always wanted to wear a jumpsuit, and it was just a big deal. And even if you're not a female, I've had some pretty excited male patients come in and be like, oh my God, look at this shirt. It was in the back of it's one of my favorite shirts. I haven't worn it for 10 years. Look, Dr. Linzi, it fits. And they're all proud. And so it's not about the clothes, right? It's about how we feel in our own skin, how it feels to put those clothes on, to get dressed, to be excited to go somewhere, to look nice. It's about so much more than that. So today, the pink jumpsuit fits. I thought about wearing it into the studio today, but I'm a little chilly. It's a little cold out this morning, so maybe later I'll bring in the pink jumpsuit, and that will be fun. But that the truth is that feels amazing. But what I really want people to understand is that this transformation that I experienced, and that you can see in the video that I post on Facebook, I would call that a transformation. It didn't happen by one magic thing. It's not because I found some random hack online or some new influencer told me the magic trick. It wasn't because I took one medication, a GLP-1, which I did take. But I want you guys to understand that it was not the medication, the GLP-1, that caused that transformation. And I will explain how that can be a tool, but that is not what did that. And it's not because I starved myself or punished myself. That transformation that you can see on there, which is a total of now 36 pounds that was lost, and a normalization of my visceral fat, which my visceral fat was off the charts. The visceral fat, remember that, you guys, is the fat that's around the organs, the most dangerous fat, the fat that's risk to all of the all-cause mortality and all of the issues. That is now normalized in my body, which is so exciting. So that is, yes, the weight and the fat that was lost, but also how my nervous system is now so much more regulated. My stress response is so much better. So all of that transformation happened not because of the one medication or because I punished myself or starved myself or didn't eat. It happened because I stopped treating my health like a do-it-yourself project. Yes, you guys, a DIY project. Even though I'm an ND, yes, and I have all this knowledge, it's so key to have a second set of eyes, to have the support, to have the guidance. And this is where I feel where I was stuck and where so many other people are stuck right now. We literally live in a world where information is everywhere. TikTok tells you one thing, Facebook says another, Google says this, AI gives you every last detail of every little thing you could ever know. Your friend swears by keto. Someone else tells you fasting is the way. Someone else says, oh, it's all your hormones. Someone else says, take a GLP-1. Someone else says, no carbs. Susie says, eat all the carbs. Someone says, carnivore. I mean, you guys get it. So, and before people know it, they're drowning in the information. And what happens is when people get overwhelmed, what happens? They freeze. They procrastinate. They second guess everything. They say they'll start on Monday, then they quit on Wednesday, then they restart next month. Does any of this sound familiar to you guys? Because too much information without direction creates confusion. And guess what confusion creates? Inaction. Literally inaction. So that's why information, you guys, is not the piece that's transformational. That's why one hack or one tool is not transformational. You can know what to do and still not do it, right? You can read every book. You can save every post. You can listen to every podcast and still stay stuck. Why? Because people don't just need information, you guys. They don't just need the one hack or the one injection. They need a system. They need guidance, support, accountability, expertise, and a plan that is built for them. And that's what changed for everything for me, you guys. I had to invest in my health too. Yes, even me, as the naturopathic doctor myself, I needed someone to help me see the forest through the trees. I needed to take off my doctor hat and have someone else help me, to pour into me, to guide me, to look at my food in detail. P.S. I was getting way too much fat, even though it was healthy fat, all beautiful, organic, healthy fat, it was too much. I needed someone to look at my habits in detail, my stress, my nervous system. It was so refreshing and so transformative. And was it an investment? Yes. Was it one of the best investments of my life? Absolutely. And I would take out, no joke, you guys, I'm not just being dramatic. I would take out a second mortgage if I knew when I started that I would look and feel the way I do now when I started and made that investment. Which is why, you guys, I don't understand why people try to do the cheapest possible thing when it comes to the most valuable thing they own. Their body, their mind, their spirit, their energy, their future, their health. Think about it. Like when people buy a house, do they usually say, give me the cheapest foundation possible? One with a bunch of cracks, water leaking, maybe some mold. I think that would be a great idea. I'll do that. No, absolutely not. What about when people buy a car? Do they say, hey, you know what? I'll take the cheapest brakes. I mean, maybe some people, but for the most part, most people are not going to be like, give me the cheapest parts that aren't going to last or that are just going to create more problem. Or when people plan a vacation, this is a big one, drives me nuts. People will drop thousands on a vacation. But then when it comes to their health, I mean, when you're finally taking the time to go for vacation, are you looking for the cheapest hotel, the cheapest food, the cheapest experience? Maybe some, but for most people, usually no. So when it comes to your health, people are often trying to piece together random supplements, the cheapest peptides they can find online, cheap plans, or worse, no plan, free advice, guesswork, and then wonder why nothing lasts. Or they give the good old red flag comment, I've tried everything. Really? Have you? Or are you just doing that good old DIY, do-it-yourself little system you got going on? Or worse, they try to lose weight the wrong way, feeling exhausted, losing muscle, tanking their metabolism, starving themselves, creating stress in the body. They gain it all back the second they stop. And you guys, that's not success. That's literally survival mode. And I seriously want better for people, which is why I'm so glad I went through those 2 years of massively struggling, because it pushed me to get outside my comfort zone and to invest in my health, because, we have all those things. Well, here I am, the naturopathic doctor. I should be able to fix myself. I should be able to do all the things. We're not meant to do everything alone. Sometimes we need the expertise or the guidance of someone else. When it comes to our family or our own health, sometimes we can't see the forest through the trees because we're so in it. We need someone else to take a look. And when we look at what real wellness means, it means feeling good while the weight comes off, feeling good while your body heals, having energy, sleeping better, thinking clearly, having reduced cravings, learning habits that last, and building a body that can maintain the results that you achieve. And so that's why, you guys, I always say, like, a GLP-1 alone is not the answer. I have no shame at all when someone looks at my transformation and says, well, did you use a GLP-1? Yes, I used it as a tool and it was so helpful. Is that what created my transformation? No. Did it help? Yes. If I would have only done that, I would not be here a year later still maintaining and feeling amazing. It's an incredible tool when used correctly. But a tool is not the system. The right system is the answer. The right guidance is the answer. The right accountability is the answer. The right strategy is the answer. Because when you combine the right tools with the right system, that's when lives change. That's when confidence comes back. That's when the pink jumpsuit fits. But more importantly, that's when you feel like you again and when you can actually feel like your best self. And so if you're listening today and you feel overwhelmed, I want you to please hear me. You don't need more random information. You don't need the cheapest peptide online. And sure, some people may lose 10 pounds that first month taking the cheapest GLP-1 they can find online. Are you going to be able to maintain that? Are you truly changing your life? Are you working on the root cause things that allowed your body to get there in the first place? So you don't need more random information. You don't need the cheapest GLP-1. You need clarity. You need simplicity. You need a proven path. You need support. And you are absolutely worth investing in, because you guys, your health is not an expense. It is literally literally, hands down, the greatest investment you will ever make. You've heard people say, a person can have 100 dreams, but when they don't have their health, they only have one. And that is to get their health back, because without health, you truly have nothing else. And that's why I made what seems like a dramatic comment that I would take out a second mortgage if I knew how I feel right now. But that's because everything else depends on how my energy and how I feel in my skin and my mood. And when I feel good in my skin and I feel that confidence, then my energy improves. I can do my tasks. I can be a better wife. I can be a better doctor. I can be better at all the things. So that is the foundation, and we need to not cheap out on that, and we need to just do it the right way. Does that make sense, Jim?
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, you're hitting some great points, and you actually reminded me of something from back when I was in college.
Yeah.
Psychologically speaking, there are like 6 different factors when you're talking about why we always try to get the cheapest thing, or we try to go to the most affordable, or what. Really, the biggest thing it's called FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Oh, that's real.
I mean, you're looking for your emotional rewards, that sense of control, the social pressures that are put onto you. Yep. And ingrained habits. I mean, a lot of this, you think back to our parents, our grandparents, from the Great Depression. You always wanted to find that biggest value.
Yes.
And then you really hit me with the tools. You think about a mechanic, they have a toolbox. They don't have a tool.
Yes.
You're not going to fix a motorcycle with just a hammer.
Yes. Well, the same with our health,
exactly.
Right? Like
you can't take an aspirin to fix a broken arm.
Right. There's so many. That's such a good analogy. There's so many, and that's one of my favorite things about creating a system is that like I talk about how it's a 90-day system that I do with people, and that's what I experienced. That's what I went through, and it was so transformational for me that I wanted to create that for my patients and clients. And what that does is through those 90 days, you keep adding to your tool belt.
Yeah.
So then when you're done at those 90 days, you've gotten results, but now you have the tool belt with you.
And I think also what you're providing is not every tool is for every person.
Yes.
Some people don't need a screwdriver. They need a pickaxe.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what's so important. Like, it needs to be like individual to us. It's not like a one size fits all, and we have to figure out, and we have to experiment, and we have to see what works with us, what doesn't work, and do trial and error. And you have those 90 days to have somebody there to support that with you and go through that so that you are literally better on every level, not just 20 pounds lighter.
And when you have Dr. Linzi on your team, you talk about like an award-winning cheerleader and coach all in one.
Yes, I do get pretty. I mean, you can even see from the video, I wear my emotions on my sleeve. Like, I get very vulnerable with my clients. I share them my own journey because I so much want better for people. I want them to experience what have experienced. And when you start to transform and you aren't just doing things because, I can't have this and I can't have that and I can't do this, that's not what it's about restriction. It's literally about empowering you. And when I see that shift start to happen in patients and clients, when it literally is not just something they have to do, it starts to become a part of who they are. Oh my gosh, I get goosebumps. I get so excited. I get emotional. It's amazing.
Dr. Linzi, UP Natural Wellness, starting out at $30,000 for this 90 days. No, you're not going to pay that. No. We have slashed the prices. We have cut them down. No, it is not $29,995 either. We are going to and besides that, we're going to throw in a pocket peeler. Yeah, right. So, no, I mean, you could get crazy like that, Dr.
Oh,
Linzi.
yeah, I know. And that's the thing. And that's the thing that drives me nuts about the influencers and the TikTok and the yes, I share on social media too, but so often you're not getting like real people who are actually living the life that they say they're living, or they show you this thing, but really they're doing all this randomness behind the scenes, and they're getting, like, you don't know what you're even listening to, and it's smoke and mirrors.
Who's influencing the influencer?
Right.
Yeah, what kind of money are they getting, to scratch?
To show this or to show that.
Yeah.
It's really important to have somebody who has like a true passion, like and is like a real person, like in your core. Yeah.
You got to have a good ethos. Your ego and id, they need to work together.
Yes.
Look those terms up, folks.
Yes.
Dr. Linzi, there's got to be one or two people out there this morning that they are ready to call.
Yes.
They want to make that change.
Yes.
We've got hundreds of thousands of listeners all over America, around the world. We have people.
That's amazing.
How can they find you? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, and you can call the office or text 906-829-0500. You can also email info@drlinzi.com. That's info@drlinzi.com, or go to my website, drlinzi.com. That's drlinzi.com. Those are the best ways to get in contact. You can also check me out on Facebook and even message on there, and that's Lindsay Say Larson. And I just want to encourage you guys, like if this resonated with you, or even if you think about, what is your pink jumpsuit? Or, if my other fellow male patients, like your favorite flannel, your favorite button-up top, right?
The first time you have to cut 8 inches off of your belt.
Yep.
All right, because you've been putting that belt on, and every time you put the belt on, it hits the floor. But now it doesn't hit the floor. That was it for me.
That was your pink jumpsuit.
Cutting off 8 inches off of my belt.
Oh my gosh.
So
that must have been amazing.
Folks, I'm telling you, if you want now, I had to do dramatic changes. Surgical dramatical changes. I'm telling you right now, folks, I still have issues because of that surgery. Here you have Dr. Linzi, natural health. That, I'm going to tell you, if I had known then about what's happening now, that's the route I would have taken instead of going through because I still have issues. Dr. Linzi's giving you a 100% chance at being healthy, no end side effects.
Right.
Take advantage of this opportunity.
Oh, that's amazing, Jim. And I want to say, though, even though you had to go that route, you still had to transform your thinking, your thoughts, your habits. You still had to do the work.
Sure.
And that's amazing. And I'm so happy for you that you also had your pink jumpsuit moment.
Yeah.
I love that. We all have those, and I want that for everybody, where they have that moment where they're like, oh my gosh, I did it. It's happening. The transformation has happened.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really, really good feeling.
And just think, folks, if you have the before and after picture and you send it off to some weight loss company, maybe they'll pay you to, be an influencer.
Right. I know. I will tell you, taking those befores are not fun.
No.
You don't ever want to do them. You could just cry, but then you're so happy you do.
Amen.
Because then you can be like, wow, it happened. Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. I hope today's episode and my pink jumpsuit transformation encourage you to explore new ways of supporting your health and helped remind you that healing is truly possible. And I encourage you always to make creating the conditions for health a priority and to keep supporting that incredible body of yours. And may you trust your body, trust nature, and trust the incredible wisdom that God has built into your design.
It's Dr.